Now that we have the frame level, we can check the head tracking. So we're going to take a door, preferably a flush skin door, 1 3/4, put it in the machine. We'll clamp the door down, bring the head up over the door, lower the template guide, and check the clearance between the end of the template guide and the surface of the door. That distance should be roughly 1/8 of an inch, and it needs to be pretty much the same in all positions around on the door. So it should be 1/8 of an inch there, 1/8 of an inch over here, 1/8 of an inch over here. If that's not the case, if it doesn't track correctly, then we'll need to adjust the shafts back here. The tracking is based on the 2 pivot shafts being parallel and perpendicular to the face of the door. The primary shaft over there, in order to check that, what we'll do is we'll hold the head with the elbow fitting, elbow shaft, at roughly 90 degrees and maintain that 90 degrees as I pivot the head back and forth and check the tracking. And I'll adjust that main shaft until it tracks the same distance off the door as I swing it back and forth this way. To adjust the main shaft back and forth, we'll loosen the bolts on the bearing, and we can use these jacking screws to push it back and forth until the head tracking is correct. When I've got the main shaft where it's parallel, perpendicular, then I can isolate this one by swinging it back and forth while keeping the main arm in position until I track left to right this direction by adjusting the knee shaft, the elbow shaft, back and forth. The elbow shaft adjusts the same way. Bearing, the bolts that hold the bearing on, and the jacking screws to adjust it back and forth until it's parallel with the primary shaft. We can tell that by the head tracking across the top of the door. When I have both shafts parallel, then it should track the same distance off the door all the way around. These bolts here are in slotted holes, and they'll adjust up and down to get the correct distance off the door once the tracking is correct. So bring the head out over the door, drop the template follower down, and look at the distance between the end of the template follower and the face of the door. It should be approximately 1/8 of an inch, and it should be approximately 1/8 of an inch everywhere over the door.